Welcome back to episode 4. I am your host, LJ, aka King LJ Bradley. And on this week's episode, we see what does Denji and Beam have planned in Chainsaw Man. We see Atomic Samurai finally meet his match in One Punch Man. And Twitter introduces me to the most insane manga I have ever read. All this and more on an all new episode of the Big Eyes Podcast. So to kick this off, I want to talk about one of the better new mangas that have come out called Chainsaw Man. So actually, it just celebrated like its 1 year anniversary a couple days ago on the third. So so Chainsaw Man chapter 49. So if you have not read Chainsaw Man, it follows a young kid named Denji who used to work for the Yakuza to pay off his father's debt, and he's like wild poor. I'm talking about like Thugnificent and Terrible type poor, and so he's working for the Yakuza so he could pay off his father's debt, and he ends up befriending a demon dog named Puchita, and they become demon hunters for the Yakuza. But the Yakuza pretty much triple cross this man and he kills him. But Puchita actually possesses his body and he becomes like this half demon, half human hybrid. And after that, he is recruited into the public safety devil hunters. And pretty much he is fighting this mission to defeat a demon called the Gun Devil. And the reasoning why he even took this job is the ability to hook up with the leader of, or like the head girl of, the public safety devil hunters. So yeah, man, it's a wild one. And at first, like, I'm not gonna lie, it surprised me because at first I thought it was gonna be just kind of more of a comedy and hilarious, but it actually gets pretty deep, and like the action in it is crazy. So we are on chapter 49 of Chainsaw Man. So where we pick up at is that we figure out that the Gun Devil is also after Denji's heart. So as Denji is hunting the Gun Devil is hunting him, and with that he has recruited some powerful demons to attack Denji and the others of the public safety devil hunters. And right now, Denji is in the middle of a battle between the Bomb Devil, who was disguising herself as a girl to trick Denji, and to liking her and whatnot, and it was trying to kill him that way. But her plans got thwarted when another demon called Typhoon attacked them and pretty much kind of blew her cover. So right now we're in the middle of that fight, and so in chapter 49, Denji is revived by Angel and Beam, who are two other half human, half demon hybrids. As Angel has powers of an angel demon, and Beam actually has the powers of a shark demon, so he's able to turn himself into a shark pretty much. And with that, they are, Denji is revived, and he's trying to think of like how he can defeat the Bomb Devil, also known as Lady Reese. And while trying to figure out a plan, Beam explains to him that he has a power where he can like release his chains and he can swing, so he can swing across buildings, use his chains to grab people and things like that. And he's telling them like swing across the buildings, so you are able to get there faster. And instead of listening to the suggestion, he tells Beam to turn into a shark, and he uses his chains to create some reins and begins to ride Beam into the battle. And Beam is completely caught off guard, and he's like, yo, this is not what I was explaining to you. And pretty much though, he just accepts it and just goes, okay, whatever, man. And so the final scene that we see is Beam and Denji riding into a battle between to go against the Bomb Devil and Typhoon. So it was a cool ending. You really, I think the coolest part about this chapter is that we start to see Denji really tap into what his powers are, and like learning new powers. And that I think this is the first time we really seen him do something a little different, because it's more hack and slash than anything. So it's cool for them to introduce something more to his powers. So next week, man, we will see what will happen with these two. Once again, Chainsaw Man probably this year has been one of my favorite mangas. It's definitely enjoyable. So if you're looking for something new to check out, definitely check out Chainsaw Man. Next up, we have One Punch Man chapter 109. So they are still in the Monsters Association's lair. They're still fighting the Monster Association, but this chapter starts off though with Child Emperor. He saves the executive's son, and this is him making it out of the cave with Wagner, who's a little prick, but whatever. He's a kid, but this kid's a prick. I hope they didn't save him, but whatever. So he goes, he saves them, he gets them out of the lair, and he meets up with the heroes who are waiting outside, and he contacts the other Class S heroes that tell them that the mission is complete, and they're all pretty much responding back until Atomic Samurai reports back that there is another child in that cave, who we know is the young child that has been following Garo around. So, once again, prick ass Wagner knew that, didn't tell nobody, and Child Emperor decides to go back in. And what we know right now is that Child Emperor is all out of gadgets. He's pretty much kind of going in there as a kid. But he's like, this is my hero duty, and this is what heroes do regardless of the situation. So we have that final moment of him walking into the cave. Then we cut to Atomic Samurai, and he is in a standoff right now with Black Spermatozoan, which, what the fuck is that name? They wild out with that one. Okay, so his powers are even more funny when you think about the name, because his powers allows him to split into multiple life forms. Like, he's like pretty much like an endless amount of mass, and yeah, I don't know, that's wild. They really wild out with that one. So he's in this standoff battle. Black pretty much is telling him, like, listen, they told me that I was assigned to you and to wait for you, but I wasn't trying to wait. I'm trying to really see what's up. So he pulls up on him, and he's like, I really want to see what you're all about. No, very gangster like. So we see Atomic Samurai attempt to brush him off, and he slices off Black's arm, and he thinks it's pretty much like, oh, this is nothing. And he turns around and he sees that the arm has now turned into another Black. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you can multiply. I'm just going to cut you up in the dust. And so he hits him with another move. He hits him with an Atomic Slash, and it cuts him to dust pretty much. And we immediately see that this means nothing, because he is now surrounded by an infinite amount of Blacks all around him. And that sounded really weird saying that. Sorry. Side note. And it ends with him saying, like, he's going to be his doom. My favorite thing about One Punch Man is, like, how hard they go for the side characters. And, like, granted, they kind of have to, because the story of Satsuma really it gets kind of old quick. So they kind of have to do this. But it's cool of how well they are doing it, even though they kind of put themselves in that corner to do it, to write the story as such. So, throughout this whole arc of the Monsters Associations and them being in Slayer, we have seen a bunch of dope different fights for Class S heroes. And I think this is one of my favorites, because I do like Atomic Samurai. When I first saw him in the anime, he just looks cool. He looks super cool. And I think that this is something I'm getting excited for. Just seeing this fight, seeing this battle, seeing how this is going to play out, because all the other battles they have done like up to this point have been all very enjoyable to like read and look at. As you start to really see, like, you at first you start to think like, yo, some of these like monsters aren't going to be as strong, and then we see these class S heroes start getting pushed to the limit and pushed to the limit. So yeah, very excited for this upcoming battle for Atomic Samurai and Black. I'm not saying his full name anymore. He's just now known as Black. Yeah, so here we are now at the point that I've been waiting for this whole entire time. I've been wanting to talk about this manga that I found since I found it. And all right. So one day, I am scrolling the timeline and I see a tweet called I see a tweet that says, "This dog nigga redraw goes fucking hard, man." And I look, and it is a manga named Dog Nigga. So immediately I am intrigued of what the hell this is. Like, what the hell is this about? So I tweet out like, pretty much like, what is Dog Nigga? Like, what is like dog what? And actually the dude that writes the story, his at name is at Chief 30K, and he's pretty much like, yeah, so this is my manga named Dog Nigga. And bruh, okay, so there's two versions of it. There's a version that he originally did that I did read all the way through. It's like 14 chapters, but ain't no disrespect to the homie, because hey, listen, we all out here learning and growing and getting better, but the drawing was very like and but the story was funny. And it's insane. Like, it gets all right. Once I get into it, you're gonna understand it's insane. So I'm reading the redrawn version, and this is the version I'm gonna talk about. And he's only done the first 2 chapters. So let's hop into Dog Nigga. So Dog Nigga is a manga about this half man, half dog named, you guessed it, Dog Nigga. And so the first chapter talks about his origin story, and his origin story is a drunk man once had sex with a stray dog, and the dog gave birth to Dog Nigga, and the dog died in the midst of giving this birth, right? And so Dog Nigga had to grow up his whole life pretty much outcasted by society. No one would ever accept him for what he is. They only saw him as a monster, only saw him as a dog nigga. And as his hatred grows for his dad, his mission becomes to violate his dad. So to find him and to violate him. So that is chapter 1. In chapter 2, we see Dog Nigga kind of chilling, and his senses heightened up, and he is attacked. He is attacked by an assassin named Neo, who was sent from his dad to kill him. And so we, chapter 2 ends with this standoff between Neo and Dog Nigga. And bro, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I did enjoy chapter 2, bro. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, we will be getting more Dog Nigga in the future, and I will definitely talk about Dog Nigga on this show, because support black businesses. Well, hopefully the writer dude is black. Hey, if you're listening to this, I'm gonna link you to this episode, bro. And if you're listening to this, I hope you're black. That's it. That's really it. But like, hey, listen, the story is wild and it's insane, but it's enjoyable. So yeah, Dog Nigga. Dog Nigga is how we are gonna end this episode. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 4 of the Big Eyes podcast. Once again, follow at RNC Radio Live for all Big Eyes and all other type of stuff that we got going on right now. Holiday season is up. Remember, the Lookout capsule has released, so please go cop a shirt. Yeah. Thank you guys once again very much for tuning in. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Jamal SLM, and on Instagram, it's at Straw Hat LJ. Stay plus ultra. Peace.